Anthropic just released an AI model so dangerous they refused to let the public have it. They handed it to a few dozen hand-picked companies. The headline said, "Zero days are numbered. Defenders finally win. The end of software security as we know it." Then one developer in Sweden got his hands on it, pointed it at his code, and discovered something every founder watching this needs to hear. It found one bug, one, severity low. So today we are going to unpack what really happened, why it matters for the company you are building, and the exact lesson I want you to take into your next product decision. If we have not met yet, I am JT. I have spent about 30 years building software companies. I am the founder of Startup Venture Lab, where I help entrepreneurs and solopreneurs build, launch, and scale. I am also the architect behind several active AI ventures right now. On the personal side, I have completed 100 plus triathlons and 31 Ironmans, including a Kona World Championship qualification. I bring that up for one reason. Endurance teaches you to spot the difference between a real signal and noise pretending to be a signal. That skill is the entire job description of a founder right now. This video is for founders, product leaders, and operators who are trying to figure out where AI actually delivers and where it is just very expensive marketing dressed up as a revolution. By the end of these 10 minutes, you will walk away with a clear framework I use to evaluate every AI tool before I let it touch my stack or my budget. Here is the setup. In April 2026, Anthropic announced Claude Mythos Preview. They claimed it found thousands of previously unknown zero-day vulnerabilities across every major operating system and every major browser. They said it uncovered a 27-year-old bug in OpenBSD. They locked it behind something called Project Glasswing and handed access to roughly 40 partners, including Apple, Microsoft, Google, AWS, and CrowdStrike. The framing was apocalyptic. Mozilla put out a blog post claiming defenders finally had a chance to win decisively. Industry analysts started writing about the end of 0 days. Stock charts of cybersecurity companies wobbled. Then Daniel Stenberg got a turn. Daniel is the lead developer of curl. If you have not heard of curl, that is fine. It is the data transfer library that runs on more than 20 billion devices. Every smartphone, every connected car, every server, your refrigerator probably runs curl. It is 178,000 lines of C code, and it has been pounded on by static analyzers, fuzzers, paid audits, and earlier AI tools like ZeroPath, ISLE, and OpenAI Codex Security for years. Mythos scanned the whole thing and reported 5 confirmed vulnerabilities. Daniel and his security team sat down for a few hours. 3 of the findings were already documented behaviors in the public API docs. One was just a regular bug, not a security issue. The last one was real, but severity low. It is going to ship quietly in the June release. Curl is not a fair test. Daniel himself points this out. It is one of the most fuzzed and audited C code bases in existence. Other AI tools have already driven somewhere between 200 and 300 bug fixes into curl in the last 10 months, including roughly a dozen confirmed CVEs. The easy bugs are gone. What is left is the stuff that requires deep contextual reasoning across a sprawling protocol implementation. And on a different codebase, Mythos has performed very differently. Mozilla ran it against Firefox, and it found over 270 vulnerabilities. The Firefox team confirmed the findings were real. Their honest assessment was that elite human researchers could have eventually found those same bugs, but Mythos compressed the timeline from months to days. That is a real win. That is not nothing. So the truth sits in an uncomfortable middle. Mythos is not the end of security. It is also not a scam. It is a meaningfully better tool that is being marketed like a religious event. Quick favor before we go deeper. If this kind of breakdown is what you came here for, the founder version of the news instead of the Twitter version, hit subscribe and tap that like button. It tells YouTube to show this to other operators, and it tells me to keep making it. That is the whole transaction. Cool. Back to it. Here is what this whole story is really about, and it has almost nothing to do with security. Anthropic is a $60 billion company. Mozilla is one of the most respected names in open source. Both of them looked at the same technology and produced wildly oversold claims. Why? Because in the AI race right now, every lab is competing for attention, developer mindshare, and enterprise contracts. The incentive is to make every release sound like a generational leap, because the next funding round depends on it. And we, the builders, are the cash cow. NVIDIA's CEO recently said he would be deeply alarmed if a $500,000 engineer was not spending at least $250,000 a year on AI tokens. Read that again. Half of your top engineers' compensation going to tokens. That is the business model. We are the buyers. The marketing is aimed at us. So when you see a headline that says AI just changed everything, the question is never, is this real? The question is, who benefits from me believing this is real? Daniel Stenberg's blog post is valuable for one specific reason. He is not anti-AI. He uses AI tools every day in curl. They have closed real CVEs. He is on record saying modern AI analyzers are significantly better than the static tools that came before. His complaint is narrower and sharper. He is saying the gap between the marketing and the measured result is huge, and that gap is where founders lose money. Whenever a new AI tool lands in my inbox, and right now that is maybe 5 a week, I run it through 4 questions before I let it anywhere near a real workflow. Question 1. What is the actual unit of work this tool replaces or accelerates? Not the marketing tagline. The specific human action that gets shorter, cheaper, or more reliable. If I cannot describe that in one sentence, I am not buying. Question 2. What is the baseline I am measuring against? Mythos looks like a miracle if you compare it to a 2022 static analyzer. It looks ordinary if you compare it to the best AI tools available 6 months ago. The baseline is everything. The same trap kills founders who benchmark their product against the worst competitor instead of the best one. Question 3. What is my own dog food test? Daniel ran Mythos against the codebase he knows better than anyone alive. That is why his review carries weight. You should do the same. Run the tool against the workflow you understand at a molecular level. If it cannot impress you on your home turf, the marketing claims about other people's results do not matter. Question 4. Who pays the cost of being wrong? If a tool gives you a false positive, who eats that? In Daniel's case, his security team spent hours running down false leads. That is real cost. In your case, it might be a customer-facing error, a bad sales email, a broken integration, price that cost in before you scale the tool. 4 questions. Unit of work, baseline, dog food, cost of being wrong. That is the whole framework. It has saved me from more shiny object decisions than I can count, including a few I almost made this year. Let me close with 3 predictions I am actually willing to put my name on. First, AI-assisted security is real and it is here. If you are running a software company and you are not yet using something like Claude Security, ZeroPath, ISLE, or one of the OpenAI security offerings on your code base, you are leaving a door open. The tools are good enough now. Daniel said it himself. Any project that is not scanned with modern AI tooling will find a huge number of flaws. Second, the volume of CVEs is about to explode. As Mythos-class tools become more available, the number of disclosed vulnerabilities in libraries you depend on is going to spike. That means your patch cadence, your dependency management, and your incident response playbook all need a serious upgrade. This is a board-level conversation, not a backlog item. Third, and this is the one most founders will miss, the moat is moving. It is no longer about having access to the best model. Every serious team will have access within 18 months. The moat is becoming the discipline to evaluate, deploy, and measure these tools without falling for the hype cycle. That is a leadership skill. That is a culture. That is something you build, not something you buy. Here is the takeaway. The story of Mythos and curl is not really about AI or security. It is about the gap between the story we are told and the result we measure. Founders who close that gap faster than their competitors are the ones who win the next decade. If you got value from this breakdown, do 3 quick things for me. Hit the like button so YouTube knows to show this to more founders. Subscribe so you do not miss the next one. And drop a comment with the AI tool you have actually tested on your own work. The good, the bad, and the marketing vs reality gap you saw. I read every comment, and the best ones usually end up shaping the next video. If you want the deeper playbook on building, launching, and scaling without burning capital on shiny objects, that is exactly what we do inside Startup Venture Lab. The link is in the description. I am JT. Train hard, build smart. I will see you in the next one.